Fernando.
Hey, that caught me off guard.
Who did that?
It's Daps, obviously. He's the only 12-year-old here, man. But yeah, man, big up to everyone.
You know, the
Hey,
baddest
Ryan
thing
with
is
the
you said
virals.
I'm the only 12-year-old here, and look what I'm about to eat.
Oh my god.
Oh my word. Oh my word.
Well, you know what? Yesterday, my daughter won a load of sweets at the arcade, and I thought, oh, I'll go and get, because Cass has moved his sweets like some idiot out into his man cave. So I thought, right, what sweets can I have? So I'll have some popping candy.
This guy, man, honestly. But yeah, man, big up everyone. It's a Sunday afternoon. For if you're in the UK, if you're Monts, he still thinks it's the morning, so he must be up 5 hours behind. Allow it, man. This guy is 12 years old.
What is this ASMR?
I was thinking he's doing those things that people do on TikTok.
He's fingering the mic. And touching the
yeah, that gets on my nerves, man. You see that new TikTok trend, by the way? Like this.
The sounds, the woman making the noises.
Well,
the only one I like is the Jericho girl. You know the Jericho girl? Face, that one. I like that.
No, I don't know. You must.
No, the one I've seen all over Twitter. She's good looking, you know. She's the
one with the child.
Yeah.
You guys lost me. I thought we were
I'd let her make those noises. I wouldn't mind, man. She's yeah.
Show me afterwards. Show me afterwards.
No, it's all over Twitter, right? And then they basically people. This is how you know men are idiots. Yeah, men.
Oh, the pink.
They send them.
What? Hold on. I don't know none of this. What's going on?
Basically, there's this girl who's French, right? But she's acting like she's Japanese, and she's replying to all the comments like, yeah, thank you. And then she has this character where she's
like an
Japanese.
AI character. They're pretending to be AI.
And her name is like Pink Barbie or something like that. And then she's a French black girl, and she breaks character all the time. And when
she's a French black girl that speaks Japanese.
No, she acts Japanese. It's like her alter ego online. And it's making her bear cake. People are just sending her gifts, and all she's saying is "thank you" for the ice cream and licking the camera.
Yeah. What? So basically,
why have I not seen this?
Why am I not making money licking cameras?
So basically, you know, everyone's played games, isn't it? Right? You know, an NPC, so a computer. So you're not your character, an NPC. And if you keep going up to them, they just probably make the same animation, the same kind of noise, the same kind of speech or whatever. If they get people are sending them like ice cream cones, and that's a token. Some of these things are worth like 50,000 tokens. And when they sent in this particular token that they put onto their stream or whatever it is, right? That means they're earning that money, and they've got some sort of NPC animation to or whatever it is, like some, I don't know, reaction.
Like a reaction.
Yeah, and it's bare weird, and it's like this is why men are idiots. Men are stupid. This is men, bro. We're making these females rich by doing nothing.
Yeah, foot fetishes need to stop.
Yeah, and other stuff.
What have I walked into?
The new
I'm as confused as you, bro.
New TikTok trend. Have you not seen on Twitter?
Yeah, bro, I know what you're talking about, but
do you know what isn't a TikTok trend, Bonds? Being late to Mandem's shows. It's not a TikTok trend, bro.
Yeah. You can tell he's Friday and he'll brush his teeth yet, man.
I was too busy promoting. I was too busy promoting.
You know what, man? You know what men used to do? Men used to hunt mammoths. And now we're doing TikTok trends where you have to make flipping weird noises just to get a bit of money. You used to hunt.
I even see man doing it, man. It's a bit mad.
Yeah, man. What's going on?
It's the new form of begging. You're on TikTok just saying, give me a gift. I need to win.
Modernized begging.
Modernized begging. Everything's online now.
Super chats today's show, please, people.
But big up anyways. We're going to start with the show. Sorry, we always do our 5-minute intros like this. Get used to it. If you haven't,
that's his fault.
It's not my fault. It's that's doing. Oh yeah, at the start of the video, like all this kind of stuff.
But,
yeah. Anyways,
Friday
Listen,
night all over
in
again.
my defense, I've got a daughter, and I watch YouTube shorts and TikToks with her. So that's
But
in my
today
defense.
we're gonna be talking about what's been going along Twitter and what's the better package, the same value. Declan Rice, Enzo Fernandez, who's the better player, who got the better deal, etc., etc. Who's gonna back who? But yeah, man, this is where you know what? Actually, I'm gonna have to put Reezy in the middle there because it makes sense. It's gonna be like an Arsenal versus Chelsea thing, and we're gonna talk about Man United, who will finish higher next season because I don't think it's Liverpool, right? Once.
Hold on, Liverpool or Man United?
Yeah, because you know where it was. Yeah, it was wrong.
You think United? Hold on, Cass. Do you think United are going to finish above Liverpool next season?
100%. Why they got Europa League? 100%. Don't sneeze.
Oh man.
What? Just because you got a whole brand new midfield to adapt, and you got Thursday nights. Hey, bring it on, bro.
And you don't have a midfield.
Yes, we do. When we gonna do that? Yes,
You
we
don't
do.
have one.
West Ham are coming in clutch
You
with
don't
a
have
35
one.
million bid for McTominay. How
You
about
don't know.
that?
Bro, you just created that yourself. Hold on, you just made that narrative yourself. West Ham
No.
have not said they want McTominay.
Yes, they-
You've created that yesterday on a show, and now you're running with it.
No, yes,
And he's
they
acting
did.
like it's happened. He's acting
Yes,
like
there are
it's
links. There are links for
like
McTominay
it's a
and
done
Maguire
deal.
from West Ham. How about that?
That's fine.
What are the links that you spoke to Lawless? Is that the link?
No, because it's on Twitter, bro. What do you think? I'm just gonna start putting up nonsense just by talking about it.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Bernardo Silva leaving as well, right?
What, he might leave?
Yeah, I know. You think he's staying though.
No, I don't.
Anyways,
No, I don't. No, I don't at all. I've said I think he goes. I
No, you
haven't said
didn't.
I think.
Bernardo
No, I
stays.
haven't, bro. I
You
said
did.
I said I thought Kyle Walker would stay. I think
You said
Bernardo
if your
Silva
manager
out.
wants to convince someone to stay, they're more than likely going to stay because you.
No,
got
I
Mr.
haven't said that
Guardiola.
neither.
How do you let him?
Oh,
How do you
that
let
is
him?
literally, he's
How
literally
do you
making
let him
stuff up.
reverse
I've
this?
never.
We're talking about Man U's midfield. Now, next thing we're talking about is Bernardo leaving.
Bro,
United
the
are
maddest thing is
Casemiro or bust.
he just said that I think that Pep could convince anyone to stay. I actually said on yesterday's show that I think Pep would be looking at a lot of the seniors and thinking, you know what, if they want to go, then we probably have to let them go because it will be easier to motivate young players or players that haven't won stuff. So I don't know where you're going with that.
You
No,
also
Cass didn't.
said that Man City wouldn't let 4 senior players go in one window. But
I
here
said
we-
I didn't think they would.
you said you said you wouldn't.
What?
They
I
wouldn't.
wouldn't.
You said
Yeah, I
Man
wouldn't.
City would. No, you said Man City
I
wouldn't.
said
let
it would
4
surprise
players
me, and it would surprise me.
go. Didn't Daps. Anyways, big up everyone. How's everyone?
Anyway,
doing?
by the way, just one's left. By the way, just to confirm as well.
Who?
Just one
Gundo,
is left. Gundo. No one else has actually left yet. Anyway, and I'm surprised that Muntz actually picked up on your midfield, bro, because the truth is, I mean, United's without forwards, like, how are they finishing above Liverpool? How are you getting goals without?
Daps. I know that's the obvious one though, but let's look at the deeper issue. Let's talk about that. Well, I know that's not what the show is. So we won't talk about that midfield yet. We'll talk about that at the moment. That midfield is Casemiro or bust. Right now. That's what it is, man. Casemiro or bust. That is it.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
Well,
Why are you talking? You don't got to have people playing in sync by the time it hits Christmas and all this kind of stuff. What you on about? You got a new midfield. I'm
not greasy right now. Listen, I haven't let go of Woodman yet. I'm not greasy. I haven't done the whole flush. I haven't done the whole flush yet.
Yeah.
Like what that said.
Anyways,
I haven't left yet.
They've got Manu now. Anyway, they've got Manu. I like him, man. I hope he gets chances this season.
I hope he gets chances as well. We don't need no like. I kind of deeped it. There's no point going for someone like Kai Spade or anything, spending 85 million when you got someone that's actually a baller. We're just doing the Pogba stuff all over again. You know, when you just shipped him up to Juve and you're like, why'd you do that for?
That worked.
Just to buy him back.
But that worked.
Like we chose Nick Powell over Pogba, and he wanted to leave because of his age. And obviously,
Pogba doesn't become Pogba if he doesn't go to Juventus. That's a fact.
Yeah, but Pogba wasn't getting the chances at the time, though. That's what it was.
You know what it was. The tipping line for Pogba was that he saw Fabio, a left back, starting midfield over him. Still won the league that year though. 11. Yeah. What we said? Wait, where's he gone? Oh, hi.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but back.
Yeah, let's get some order.
Anyway, back to Enzo.
Back to the Enzo stuff. How is everyone doing? Make sure you smash the like button, people, as well, and everyone's channels in the description below. Monts, Egal,
Congrats on the 12K, by the way, as well. Congrats.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Oh, that was just a
What
random
we saying,
stat.
Egal?
Don't worry.
What do you
You must be over the moon with Declan Rice, right?
Of course, man. Of course I am. But you know what? Rivals do what rivals do. They're trying to find comparisons and make jokes about everything. But it is what it is. It's not going to bring me down. My vibe right now, I'm happy. We got ourselves who we wanted. We paid. We got a player that not only did we want him, but a lot of teams across Europe wanted him. So it's like to be able to attract a player like that, even though we paid a ridiculous amount of money, it's worth it.
No, you didn't pay a ridiculous amount of money. You paid what you had to pay.
Hey, that's what it is nowadays. If whatever you got to pay for a player to get the player in, you don't see people. What do you call it? Talking about.
Egal, would you mind naming a lot of teams around Europe that actually went in for him?
Okay, if I'm not mistaken, it was Bayern Munich, Manchester City, Chelsea wanted him for about 3 years. Manchester United wanted him for about 2 years.
Chelsea didn't want him for 3 years.
Chelsea never went for him.
We never
Bro,
went in for him.
Chelsea wanted him for 3 years. Let's be honest. That is a fact.
When have we
If you
ever
have
gone
an
in for him?
outstanding interest and a new manager comes in and no longer wants that player, does that count as a team?
Are you sitting here and telling me Thomas Tuchel and Lampard didn't have him crossed off as one of the DM?
What team does Thomas Tuchel manage?
It was the managers. It was the managers that wanted him. But Marina and Roman. Marina was embarrassed actually because we let him go as a youth player, so she didn't want to spend that much money on him.
Okay, but you spend that.
It wasn't the club that wanted him. It was the managers.
That's like you saying though, Egal.
I read that article. It said you didn't want to spend 80 million on a youth academy player that you let go, but then you spent 80 plus million on Lukaku the next summer. So that logic doesn't stand.
Yeah, but
that's like me. That's like me saying Mason Mount, yeah, come to Man United, but Chelsea wanted to keep him. Arsenal wanted him as their first choice, and Liverpool were also remotely interested. But you don't see us gloating like you got Mason Mount over you then.
One second. Stop lying to yourself.
Oh God, bro.
That's the same thing. That's the same thing.
You're trying to make Man United, bro. You guys, we sat here all summer where you guys were saying Bayern, he's gonna go to Bayern over Arsenal. He's gonna go to Man City over Arsenal. Like, what are we doing now? Now all of a sudden, Arsenal was the only.
Wait. To be clear, as a City fan and the City representative on this channel, yeah, I was very consistent with it that I thought he wanted to go to Arsenal. Yeah, the only thing I wasn't certain on, was if your board would act correctly. Yeah. I thought if your board acted correctly and beat City, he would join Arsenal. All I said is if he did have a say, but also so did the club. And if West Ham rejected your bid and accepted City, I said he would come to City because he wouldn't turn down City and say, no, I'd rather stay at West Ham. So we all pretty much knew. You lot knew. Actually, we've done you a bit of a favour by now giving you this trophy that you've got because, you know, this is your trophy. You've come on here and straight away you started talking about all the other clubs that wanted him. When no, focus on the fact that your board have just done a bit of good business. Your board have shown intent, and that's the key. You had to pay that money because if you didn't pay that money, that would have been an L. And also to kind of like, I think some of the players at the club and some of your future targets, if you didn't get Declan Rice done, that would have been an L for you. So you did what you had to do, but
look, the thing is, we're talking about if buts and maybes right now. Let me just say one more point.
Go 1 second. He addressed something. Let me respond before you go. Okay. First things first. Please. It's not a trophy. Let's not be silly here. Second of all, the reason why I mention it is because when was the last time Arsenal was going up against other people across Europe and we were able to attract a player above them? It hasn't happened recently. So of course I'm gonna point to that and be like, this is a point where we can say it's a turning point. We're starting to get stuff done.
That's a fair point.
Even when other people across Europe are interested in the same player, we're able to attract that player over them. That is not a trophy. That is just being able to show.
You were able to bid more. Not attract them. Bid more.
I disagree.
No, it's not even about the bids. Let's be honest.
No, it is about the bids. No, it is about the bids.
Why does everyone just ignore Aubameyang? They had Europa League football. They're the worst they've ever been.
No, but nobody wanted Aubameyang at that time. Who wanted it?
Excuse me?
Who wanted Aubameyang? Nobody else was interested.
So you're telling me there was no interest. There was no interest across Europe with Aubameyang, and you're telling me no one was linked to Lacazette either? Because Lacazette, before you signed him, was actually in demand.
Oh, let's go back. Let's go back for a second. Let's go back.
He was linked to Lacazette for like 3 years before you got bought him.
The last two players that I would say that were wanted by many different clubs that we were able to attract, I would say, is Ozil and Sanchez. Aubameyang, I don't think too many people were even interested in paying that kind of money in January.
He was the only one to rival Lewandowski.
when it comes to Lacazette, maybe it was Napoli or something, but I don't really remember any major clubs across Europe seriously interested for Lacazette. So I think you're kind of lowering the bar here.
I'm not lowering the bar, bro. When Arsenal signed Aubameyang, I remember a lot of people like, "Raw, like, how did you man pull that off?" Especially because you signed Lacazette was also the signing where people were interested in him. When you got him in the summer, people were like, decent.
I remember that at the time once when they were linked to Alba, people were like, there's no way they're gonna get him. There's no way, especially in January.
No way they're gonna get him. Especially when they got Lacazette as well. Not too long before that. They're thinking, first of all, it doesn't make too much sense. And also, Oba was like the only one to rival Lewandowski. There was even Lewandowski said something when he left the Bundesliga about my only rival or something like that. Bro, I remember this.
So, Mons, are you telling us that Mbappe to Arsenal really could happen?
No, bro. I'm just saying Egal's trying to do the thing where we're turning the page. Arsenal are a London club and will always be able to attract players. Obviously, they've gone up a slight step, of course. But in terms of Declan Rice, yes,
name clubs that were seriously in for Aubameyang. Because I've just named a bunch of clubs.
I agree with you.
I really mean, like, seriously. Fair enough, a bid wasn't put in. Fair enough, Man City did put in the bid. But you're telling me stuff like outside interest. You're telling me who was linked for a few years as well. After Man City, you're telling me, man, you even mentioned Chelsea. You mentioned Chelsea, bro. Like, again, you're going to mention Liverpool with Lacazette because we were linked to him for 3 years.
No, because Liverpool were never...
No. On Declan Rice, on Declan Rice, there's definitely... I know you want to
acknowledge that Arsenal seems to be turning a page in transfer.
Yes, 1,000,000%. I can.
Yeah, in terms of the amount, but you guys are still you guys have been attractive though. You've like Monson said, you've been able to attract players. Do you get it?
No, last year apparently from George, Tottenham were more attractive.
Yeah, but you now have Champions League football, bro. Arsenal were attractive. You challenged last season, and you have Champions League football.
I think what you've done in terms of turning the page is the fact that you were able to basically put your money where your mouth is. You get it, to show how serious you are. In that sense, I would say, Arsenal potentially might have turned the page there. But what I would say is, look, you've got your player, bro. There's no need to come in and say, oh, we got him over this team and this team. Because Man United, they've got the whole ownership problem. If they had that sorted out, they would have definitely been in for Rice because they've been onto him for a minute. Chelsea, it's never been the club. It's always been the managers that have wanted him. Liverpool can't afford Declan Rice, let's be real. So realistically, it was only going to be Man City that were going to come.
They got noodles instead.
And they walked away.
I didn't come here on a banter thing. I came here on a thing like, yo, this is something positive. I'm happy about this. You guys,
sorry, we're just not used to that, Egal. Sorry.
It's a banter thing. If you could tell by my mannerisms, if it was a banter thing, you'd know. But right now, I'm genuinely saying it from a perspective
just for future reference. So, because I guess we used to banter Egal. So, if it's a daytime show, do we get normal Egal? And if it's nighttime, do we get completely shameless Egal?
No, you can tell by my mannerisms if I'm trolling you or if I'm serious. Come on.
Okay.
What I'm gonna say is
this praise, but we're gonna give you praise anyway.
It's a clear attempt as to what Arsenal fans love to do is they love to make everything they do seem better than what everyone else does. They have to big it up. They have to make it seem like they beat all the odds. We beat this team, we done this, we done that just to get this one player.
These are some small things you can do to appear more confident.
Exactly that. So what Arsenal fans done, yes, look, you beat Manchester City to the signing. They still won the league. They still done the treble on your head. They don't really care. So you can bring it up and it really doesn't matter much. Again, Chelsea, as Donna said, like Chelsea wasn't in for him. They never put no bid. No other team put in a concrete bid. And so therefore, all these other teams looked at him. Right, apart from, as I said, we acknowledge Manchester City, no other team though. Bayern Munich, yes, heavily interested. That's where the Chelsea interest come from. Thomas Tuchel. But as we can see in with the Harry Kane saga, they ain't got the money. They're not going to pay the money that you guys are going to put up. So really and truly, it was only Arsenal that went in heavily for the player. No one's going to take away from his ability. This doesn't make him a bad player, Egal. You wanted your player. You got your player. Be happy with that. You haven't got to come in there and say we beat so-and-so. At the end of the day... Wait. Let me just finish. Because at the end of the day, he was your number one target from January. You got your number one target. That's all you need to be happy about. Not happy about beating other teams, because that wasn't the case. You only beat City to the man, and that's it.
Let me jump in there, because
Bayern didn't bid.
Once. This all stemmed from when he said What did you say that all these other interested parties and you got it? But then I just said, what about Mason Mount? Your team was interested, but they didn't want to go because the Chelsea Arsenal thing.
No, I
Liverpool
agree
was
with you.
interested, but Man United got him. But you don't see no one gloating about it. But you did it. But you say you're here on a
No.
humble tip. Come on, man. Make it make sense.
1 second. The thing that the reason why I said that is because we're not comparing Mason Mount signing to Declan Rice's signing. And
No, but it's just an example.
Oh, well, we can do if you want, though, Egal.
Hey, you could do that if you want. Personally,
No. If you want to compare Mason Mount with Declan
Mason
Rice,
even
you
had
can
more
do.
solid interest.
Personally, for me,
Rice. Didn't want to
even
see
though we haven't bid for Lavia, say if Lavia ends up somewhere else, you can troll us for that. I don't really care. That's not my whole thing. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, we
Yeah,
never.
you don't do trolling.
No. Listen.
Where's this guy going with this today? Anyway, my point was when you made the Mason Mount point, we still ended up getting somebody else. So I'm not really too worried about the Mason Mount point. It is what it is.
Yeah, I don't mind.
But Egal, for me, I don't get the whole. I get it. You've got a game changer now in Declan Rice, yeah. But this flex that Arsenal fans were trying to do on Man City when the signing was literally in your hands, like George has already said, he was your main target. You knew how much they wanted. It was in your hands, and then to start flexing like, oh, we beat Man City to him. It doesn't make any sense, bro. It was literally in your hands.
Let me give you the logic. Because if you remember those 2, 3, 4 days from when they bid the first bid that matched our bid to the next one, all we heard was he's gonna end up at Man City. Once Man City walks in the door, you guys leave, and it's almost like we were thrown across.
What was the reason? What was the reason, Egal?
That was because of who they are and what they've.
No. It was because people didn't think Arsenal would pay up. That was the thing, and Arsenal did end up paying up.
So based on that, we should be able to be proud of our team to be able to.
But
walk
Egal. No matter
what, we want our player. We get our player, and I don't care how much we pay, how much wages we give him.
No,
we got who we want.
Egal. Hold on, Egal. You are 100% right. And what I said the night before it came out that he'd confirmed, I actually said what Arsenal need to do here is go and.
Cass, do you want to start that?
Do you want to get ITL in it?
Hold on one sec. I said I wanted to see Arsenal, or what Arsenal should do is go and blow Man City out of the water with a bid that makes Man City go, okay, we don't need him as much as you need him. You're going to win this war, so let's pull away. Now, that is what happened. Your board showed the intent you've been wanting them to show, right? And you got your man. I get that. But when you just said a minute ago, and Declan Rice chose Manchester City over, Declan Rice chose Arsenal over Manchester City. He did not, right? Your board accepted, their board, West Ham's board accepted your bid. They did not accept City's bid, right? So this is not Declan Rice turned down Manchester City. Declan Rice had his preference, and his preference was Arsenal. But there is no narrative, factually, that Declan Rice turned down Manchester City because our bid was never accepted. So there was no option of Manchester City for Declan.
Yeah, but Daps, I'm not going to lie. Hold on. Let me go in there. Arsenal fans get trolled for the Mudryk deal. Arsenal fans get trolled heavily for the Mudryk deal. Obviously, Mudryk
and Martinez.
Well, Cheek says
not by me. Not by me.
No. Obviously not by you, but in general, let me just be honest. Arsenal got clowned for the Mudryk deal, and realistically, you could say the same thing. They both put in a bid. And Chelsea were only willing to let go of Mudryk. Shakhtar they're only willing to let go of Mudryk if they accepted Chelsea's deal and not Arsenal's deal. So we could say the same thing with the same technicalities.
We can't though, Mons, because Arsenal offered the exact same amount as us, but the difference was in the payment terms were completely different, and the add-ons were more realistic. The Shakhtar CEO even came out explaining the whole deal with Mudryk.
That's what Daps is saying. The technicalities were within the club and Shakhtar and what they thought was the better offer, or what offer they wanted to take. It wasn't Mudryk going, cool, I want Chelsea, I'm turning that. It's not factually.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't really like to run with
that. I still actually think he wanted Arsenal.
When Chelsea can say, we got our man over you. I like that better, innit?
Well, yeah, I actually think that Mudryk, by the way, I do genuinely think Mudryk wanted Arsenal, right?
He did.
That was a prime example of ultimately whether it be the club, the selling club, or potentially his agents that basically were like, nah. You ain't going Arsenal. You're going Chelsea, because the deal financially is far better for you, for us, and for the agent. And it was like taken out of his hands. And I think, look, but let me be clear. I don't want to come across as me saying I think Declan Rice wanted City, right? What I actually said to Egal on a show we did during that period was that there could be a point where Declan Rice has almost doesn't have a say. And what I meant by that is that if City bidded more than Arsenal, so West Ham said, we reject Arsenal's bid, we accept Manchester City's bid, and Declan Rice then has, you either stay at West Ham or you go to Manchester City, he'd go to Manchester City, right? But that was taken out of the equation by the fact the board did what they had to do, got a great bit of business, and now have a player that, in my opinion, is going to Arsenal to become your captain in the next couple of years. He will have his eyes on that armband. He will expect to get that armband and to be the person that takes you back to the promised land. And you've got someone that I think could do that for you. So I'm not being salty, but this whole let's throw shade on City thing, bro, to be frank with you, you can't. There's no place to shade us at the moment. We've got a treble.
Yeah, it's
So that's not you.
Yeah, what?
Oh my!
No, hold on. What did it say? No, so tell me what it says, because I can't read it, bro.
When Man City hear Arsenal want Declan Rice, are you not a shark? Are you not coming?
Oh, okay. So, bro, yes.
My point is,
I said you were looking for it.
My point is, if Declan Rice would have ended up anywhere else, we would have got trolled like we did with Martinez, like we did with Modric, and wallahi, I would have held it. But the fact is, you don't want to hold it. Hold that, bro.
Hold what? I said they were lurking, bro. Hold on. I did some shameless Twitter stuff, yeah? But Egal. But you were on shows with me. Anything I've just said whatsoever, yeah? Anything I said, is that a lie? Or did I say
You want to know something? All year, I've been saying Chelsea's going to get Caicedo. When Caicedo goes to Chelsea,
you're not answering my question. You're not answering my question. No, answer my question. Egal. I just said I'll hold it, yeah? That on Twitter, I was making you lot feel nervous, as always. And now answer my question. When we've done shows, face-to-face, talking to each other, yeah? Everything I've just said about the fact that I do think he wants to go to Arsenal, all of that, was I lying? Or have I
you're not lying, but guess what? Nobody cares about context. Once the thing happens, you get trolled regardless, and you have to hold that. I will
remember that.
5 years. Since I've been an Arsenal fan doing content, I've been holding every single corner that comes my way. Even though
bro. The biggest one I'm gonna have to hold for me, Frank, is not losing out Declan Rice. A bigger corn for me to hold is if we lose Bernardo Silva. So I'm gonna have to hold a few.
Yeah, what you should have done is come on in and said big up Edu and Mikel for making sure that they put the money up front so no other teams could get him. That's what you should have. That's the angle you should have come with. Not trying to shit on other teams when they were never really in for him like that. Do you get it? Apart from
one second. Why do we have to say something that's already given? Edu and Arteta have been doing a great job this whole window. We have 3 signings in through the door before our second.
No, you should give him.
But that's your turning point. Though you've literally just spent over 100 M's. You've never done that in your history. Never.
That's another.
I am proud of that, and every Arsenal fan is probably proud of that too. But that's a given. One second, but that's a given. I don't think you have to say that. It's pretty obvious that everyone is going to be giving plaudits to the people who've been criticizing for the last 4 or 5 years over the signing.
You've taken down all your TikToks about Havertz, young man, because I'm going to be scamming. I'm going to be hunting for you later. I am going to be hunting for you in 4K.
Nothing's been deleted. Nothing's been deleted.
Can we talk about Havertz?
Right. You want to do this, do you? You want to do this, Egal? No problem.
Egal.
Pardon.
Daps' head is flaming. His head is on Mars right now.
I'm gonna go and get my. Dyson.
You know what
I told Cass Cass said earlier he's really hot out there, and I was like, it's calling him. It's not no more. I'm boiling hot, bro. I need my Dyson.
Just quickly though, because someone didn't pick up on what George said. George said something it was very important. I think went over a few people. So he said Arsenal fans, they like to do this comparison thing when something goes their way. How comes it's cool to spend money now?
We've been spending money for the last couple of years.
No, I'm just saying.
We know that, but
because obviously, like when United and City were doing it, fair enough. City were the more successful ones, and even Chelsea, just 6 months ago, it was like, oh man, it was not you again, not you. Yes, not you. But it wasn't cool for the money thing. Now it's cool to boast about the money. Again, I just feel like I agree. When Arsenal, whenever they do something, even if they've hated someone else for doing it, they'll go and big it up themselves like they invented it. or like it's now okay, like they're doing it. Or like
Egal, what are you doing? Hold on, Egal, what are
Remember
you
when they
doing?
invented the rebuild?
What are you doing?
They invented how to
How
rebuild.
about this? They invented the rebuild. How about this? I had kids telling
Don't
me
be
that
deleting nothing off of TikTok, Egal.
I had kids telling me that Pep about certain things that Arteta is teaching Pep. Like it's somehow the other way around. Do you know, like it's crazy. Like inventing the rebuild. Like Gabriel Jesus is the first guy to do the false nine thing. Like Arsenal fans used to tell me they used to call Roberto Firmino Robert. They used to call him Robert. They didn't know what he did. But now that Gabriel Jesus is doing the false nine thing, it's the best thing since last.
This is funny, man.
Bro, let me pause it.
I'm just gonna sit here and say there's all sorts of Arsenal fans. I'm not gonna criticize you for all your Liverpool fans, but what I can say is I've never been somebody here who just says, "Oh, you paid a ridiculous amount of money." Even when Chelsea paid 600 million last January, I gave them a pass. I said it doesn't mean they're gonna go on and get top 4 guaranteed. They still have a lot of work to do. Liverpool, Roberto Firmino. I was one of the guys fighting Gunnar Lee, saying, "Bro, Roberto Firmino is a baller." I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're fighting. My point. Gunnar Lee. You know, Gunnar Lee's our guy. If a man's calling Roberto Firmino Robert and then going and praising the second version of him, which is Gabriel Jesus, who isn't even as good as him when he was at his prime, it's like, so you only see it when he's wearing the Arsenal badge, not when when it suits me FC.
Let me get to the money thing, bro. We're not accountants. This whole thing about Arsenal fans are accountants, this is that. Really and truly, if anybody's sitting there saying to themselves they don't want Declan Rice because we paid 105 million, or they don't want the price to win. That's the honest truth. Because at the end of the day, if you want to win nowadays, you need to spend the money to get these players in. And really and truly, we had a lot of dead wood in our team. We had to spend all this money to rebuild. Look at it. In the last couple of years, we've bought a whole back four. We've now got we bought a whole midfield, and the only thing we didn't buy is our attack.
Let me pause it right there. By the way, guys, if you are here, you know exactly what I'm about to ask. You know what I'm about to do. The Mo tutorial. There's a live chat. All that you're watching on your phone in your bedrooms right now or in your living rooms. All you gotta do is exit, and then there's a like button right there. It's right there. Can you see? I've liked my own video. You man are making me starve after like my own video. What's wrong with you people that haven't liked it so far?
Also, go on your Twitter app. Go on your Twitter app as well, and make sure you go on. You know that same tweet that Egal just brought up about Daps, because
No. Let's not bring hate to Daps.
No. Do it. There's plenty. Listen, there is plenty. There's plenty on Twitter. Listen, I've given into Twitter. I have given into Twitter, right? And I've given into doing that. But let me be clear. If you want to hear me, we were in for him. I'm not trying to act like I can tell you we were in for Declan Rice. Yeah, we were in to a certain extent. How much do we need him, right? And also, anyone that says will Declan Rice even start at City? I think Declan Rice would have come to Manchester City and he would have been bled in a little bit, but I think Declan Rice also would have played in the 8 role for Manchester City. He would have been a good signing for Manchester City. But I did find it funny how we did enter the race like a shark. Listen, a shark does not always get its prey. And
it's true.
And this time we didn't get our prey in it. Listen, small fish and rice, it goes well together. It's light and easy to eat.
Yeah, let me do some of the super chat. I apologize for getting too long to this, Olu, man. I know you sent this about 15 minutes ago. But he said Borussia Dortmund trying to get rid of Aubameyang due to discipline, he was saying.
Madrid were in for him.
Oh, yeah, they were.
Hold on, they were in for him a season or two before Arsenal got him. Madrid were in for him, but then they pulled out because of disciplinary issues. So Madrid saw there was always this thing with him that there seemed to be a bit of a disciplinary issue. And now in hindsight, when you look at it, you fully can see it. So
that's been doing his research. Real Madrid actually wanted him at Saint Etienne. I remember that before he went to BBB. Goonley says, I can say 1,000% Man City weren't in for Declan Rice. They didn't want him first-hand info. So he's calling
really? Nah, really?
Lee's basically saying that Ornstein's basically a liar. He's calling him a liar.
No. Man United can still, as I said, what did Elia say? She said that teams can
maybe that's his in. Maybe that's Gunnar Lee's in.
No. Did Elia say that City, again, you can always call, again, Arteta could have called Pep and say, yo, put a bid in.
I don't believe that, though.
I don't know.
But look, listen, Lee with Arsenal seems to be quite good. So maybe he has got it. But I thought we were in for him. I'll be honest, I did think we were in for him. But
you have to rate Lee's sources. I can't lie. Comdean says, watch the Tifo video about Arsenal's finances. That's the difference between Arsenal and other clubs. Might have to note that one down. That has been popping up on my actual feed as
Are you
well.
that?
So,
But this is the thing. Are
Have
you
you
that?
seen our wage bill?
Hold on. Are you that bothered about it?
me,
What?
Or no? Are
Me.
you that bothered about how Arsenal manage their finances and other teams
To
manage
me.
their finances to go and watch a
yeah,
documentary?
I would.
Yeah,
I
fair
find all clubs quite interesting the way
Well,
how
you
they
got
work.
time on your hands, bro.
I do have time on my hands. That's why I have to run the channel, right?
I'm just gonna say this. It's very simple. Our wage bill went down massively since we got rid of a bunch of guys on free.
Yeah, of course.
And it allows us to spend a lot more money. People were freaking out when we bought Ben White for 50 million. We've done way more than that recently.
Yeah, and then big up Martin. He says, Mots, do you want to borrow some money?
You lend me a fiver. Lend me a fiver.
Is Martin an Arsenal fan, by the way?
Yeah.
Yes.
Lend me a fiver on BSB. The little dollar sign that.
And if anyone else wants to look, if you've got any questions for Egal, Daps, or anyone on the panel, and you want to get your chat highlighted, you know what to do. There's a super chat if you want to get, or if you've got a membership chat, I'll try scout for that if you want to become a member. And also big up Big Six Bands for hitting 5K, and that's thanks to a lot of you guys in here right now as well.
Bro.
Yeah, man. And Egal's on the road to 30K.
25 still.
No, don't.
30. You're on the road to 30, bro.
You're on the road to 30, bro. And look at him smile, man. Cheeky guy, man. It's gonna be a figure of some sort soon.
Nah, bro.
But yeah, man. Let's get into the title of the video. There's only one way to compare this. Enzo Fernandez is a centre mid. He costs 105 million. Declan Rice is a centre mid, and he costs 105 million. You could probably both say they play similar positions in terms of alternatives. One can do DM as well as much as the other. Maybe one's better in attack, right? So we can compare it that way. Who do you guys? I'm gonna come to George first. What do you reckon? Who's got the better deal, and who do you reckon the better player is out of all of this? Be honest.
For me, it's a bit too hard to say who's got the better deal, because I feel like Rice has proven why he's charged so much, why he's cost 100 million. Like, there's obviously a reason why he's cost 100 million. He's been one of the best midfielders in the league for about 3 seasons now. So for me, the price range is sort of justified in a way, even though I don't think he's worth that much. It's obviously he's justified the value of why West Ham put him at that price. Enzo, on the other hand, I never really watched him prior to the World Cup. Didn't know much about him coming to the league, and he's looked good. He's looked good for Chelsea. I do think that there's a higher potential in him to perform, but with regards to who's the better player, for me, it's 100% Rice. Rice is the 100% better player.
Hey, where's the cow? Hey, Gal, get back here. Hey, Gal, get back.
Bro, he does a lot of TikToks, man. So I'm really having to scroll. But you know that Mason Mount to Arsenal one looks spicy still.
I thought Arsenal were never linked. Oh, I didn't know that. Gal,
well, Arsenal were linked, and you guys beat them too. You beat us to it.
You didn't say that when Kaz brought up though. You didn't say that.
You never linked.
I'm just saying.
1 second. I sat here and I said Modric, all these guys. I always sit here and say you guys beat us to a signing. Big deal.
No, it's not that. You said they were never interested. That's the whole point. Anyways,
but
what
you were never interested. I never said that. We run the tape back. I never said that. VAR.
I'm pretty sure you said that we were never in for him at the start when I brought it up.
No,
all I know is wait, Kaz. I mean, did you find that? Did you find that, Daps?
Yeah, you
No.
Hey,
Me?
Gal, this is the first time in months I've seen Daps' head fly to Mars like that. Hey,
Listen, since we won the treble, I said since we won the treble, things changed. I'm a bit harder to rattle now, but he got me with that one. The minute I saw that shark on the screen, I'm like, oh, you. All right, now it's no problem. You might do 15 damn TikToks a day because I'm having to scroll a lot.
You and that old man. I go. It's 1-1 at the moment. You know what? Actually, that's. Wait.
1 second. Should I run through never a foul and just go through every single title that says Declan Rice to City, or is that not
with a question mark?
I mean, if you want to do it,
I thought we were aggregators, so we're not.
I'm just saying, Egal, you got 2 points for your shark one, but
I'm aggravated. I'm definitely aggravated, bro. Trust me.
That's go back. He's 2-1. But let's move back on. What are you saying, Mons? Who's the better player for you, anyways? Do you rate Enzo? Do you rate Rice more? What's your situation?
I think they're both overrated, to be honest. But if I do prefer Declan Rice. I think Declan Rice is closer to his evaluation than Enzo Fernandez is. But also, you got to remember as well, though, like Declan Rice is more industrial, and Enzo Fernandez is being played in an industrial role that he shouldn't be played in. in my opinion, anyways, when I look at him play. So I think the Enzo Fernandez we've seen at Chelsea isn't the Enzo Fernandez we will see under Poch. Should Poch actually play him a little bit further forward when he's able to dictate play a lot more. I think Declan Rice, if he plays in the 6, will look close to that evaluation. If he plays in the 8, and you see this 8 hype about Declan Rice because he likes to drive with the ball, you will not like dead all of that. Like, first of all, Kai Havertz is probably going to play there.
I have to disagree, man.
Sorry, I've got some breaking news. You all need to hear.
I guess from now on, we're going to have to call him a donkey. Did you know Kai Havertz had a special relationship with donkeys? Yes.
Bro,
I see too.
They literally call him,
and gummy bears and Skittles as well, man.
They literally call him donkey. That they used to call him that because he has a relationship.
I'm intrigued if that same. If I'm
Tell me the date of that. What's the date of that?
No. So that's the key. I'm intrigued. I want to ask you. Oh well, I'm going to ask a rhetorical question. I wonder if that ever would have made your TikTok if it was post you signing him, because it definitely wasn't. That was while the season was still going on. I wonder if that ever would have made it to your TikTok account.
And is he still a donkey?
Bro, his nickname is Donkey. The guy.
No. Is he still a donkey?
I can't get through.
Listen, I've never heard of somebody who has pet donkeys. My man,
No. Answer my question. Is he still?
Look at the smug look. Look at the smug look.
Listen, the guy literally has donkeys as his pet.
No, Egal, answer my question.
What?
Is he a donkey?
I said yeah.
As a footballer, basically a donkey.
No, I'm not calling him
Egal, man. Stop doing this wrong.
So you signed a 60 million donkey.
One
You signed a
second.
donkey.
I hate you lot. You know
It's
that.
being misquoted. It's being misquoted.
I hate you lot.
Let me show you
No,
what-
we're not misquoting it.
man.
You said. I guess we should refer to him as Donkey. So, are you referring to him as Donkey?
A 60 million donkey.
This is why Kai Havertz, some of his
So,
teammates.
are you referring to him as Donkey?
Because some of his teammates call him a donkey.
So you're referring to him as Donkey, no problem.
I can't
You see
believe
what I'm saying? So now you guys get it. Fair enough, right?
Anyway,
Right.
the scrolling continues. Back to Enzo. Sorry, I won't interrupt.
Don't
Like that.
care.
That was very rude of me.
Anyway.
Don't care.
Anyway, I think Enzo Fernandez, in terms of ceilings, I think it's quite similar. I think a lot of people are gonna, they're probably gonna run Enzo with their preference simply because he's more pleasing on the eye in terms of the way he plays. Pause. And I think that Rice, again, brilliant footballer. I think Rice is the better player right now, by the way. And I think he's more proven. He's been doing it at a level in the Premier League where you can't deny his quality. Enzo, I think he's come a bit of a surprise that he's looked the best player in that Chelsea midfield, though, innit? So I'm gonna side with Declan Rice. I'm not gonna lie. But listen, football's football, man. You never know.
If you're gonna give me one player of these, I think Enzo's ceiling is way higher than Declan Rice's. And now the way I look at it, if I'm in a World Cup final, I would not trust Rice in my midfield, yeah. If I got a mad selection, but I would trust Enzo because he's done it against the best, against the Mbappes and stuff like that. England, no chance. We got knocked out by that team. How about that? So the way I look at it, I get Messi, and all that kind of stuff. But I just think, yes, you're right though. Declan Rice is probably the better player right now, but it depends on what.
You trust McAllister over Declan Rice, then?
Oh yeah, for me, yeah. But I think Declan Rice's ceiling's higher than McAllister's.
This debate is just funny to me because Declan, you just wouldn't compare Declan Rice and Enzo. They're not the same player. They're not the same position. Declan Rice is a holding midfielder, and Enzo is a progressive centre mid who is basically like a deep line playmaker. He's the same profile as what you get in like a Fabregas or what you get in a De Jong. Yeah, and he would comfortably go in an 8. First of all, Mons, in the point that you made about the valuation, Enzo, the amount we paid for Enzo isn't his market value. The reason why we paid that amount is because we obviously wanted to get him. We wanted to get him in January. Rui Costa, he is the sporting director of Benfica. He wasn't having it. Do you know what I mean? They did not want to sell him to us in January. We were pushing on the player side. He was pushing for the move. So what happened was we said, right, okay, if you don't want to sell him in January, what we'll do, we'll pay above the release clause because they wanted us to pay the release clause. That was the only way that was going to get Enzo done. So in order to actually get it done in line with FFP over 8 years, as you guys know, we decided to pay over the release clause so we can pay that amount in installments over a set period of time. So that's the only reason why we paid that amount, is because they didn't want to let him go in January. And the only way they were going to let him go is if we pay the release clause. So we managed to negotiate that and say, okay, we'll pay above the release clause, but we'll pay it in installments rather than paying it in one go. That's the only reason why we paid that much. But if you talk about market value, he's probably worth about, I'd probably say about, when we bought him, I'd probably say about 50 million, I'd say, only because he hasn't had that many appearances as a pro. But the valuation wasn't because of his ability. In Rice's case, it's because of the ability. Do you know what I mean? He's proven, West Ham captain, England international. So the context is a little bit different. They actually paid for his, I wouldn't say he's worth, 105 million, Rice. I'd probably say he's worth about 80, but obviously English tax and the fact that, you know, he just won West Ham a trophy and whatnot. He's their biggest asset. Yeah, with Enzo, we didn't pay. You could add potential as part of that, but the main reason was they didn't want to sell him in January, so we had to pay above the release clause. That's the reason why we paid what we did. It wasn't to do with the ability so much. It was
fair enough. But obviously, I agree with you. Like the first thing I said was, but man, I just don't feel like they play in the same position. In fact, that's the fact they don't play in the same position. Once again, the other one's a holding midfielder. But if you want to look at but again, unfortunately, they did play the same position. Like for some reason, Enzo was playing in the 6.
I'll go in. I'll speak about it, because when you're asking the question, who has got the better deal, you can only, that's relative to the club, because we needed an Enzo Fernandez. Do you know what I mean? Same way Arsenal right now, they technically need a Rice, because if they get rid of Partey, do you know what I mean? He's younger, he's more proven. Do you know what I mean? So for us, we needed Enzo Fernandez, because if you look at our creativity in midfield, the last time we had a creative midfielder was Fabregas. Do you know what I mean? Since then, we brought in Jorginho. When you saw Jorginho playing under Sarri at Napoli, he was really progressive. He used to pick up the ball from deep and all the time, always looking forward. When he came to Chelsea, I don't know, he just turned a little bit more safe. Do you know what I mean? And he wasn't the type of profile we needed as a CDM, because he's not a destroyer. So if you look at our midfield, we haven't had any creativity in a while. And Enzo's very creative. You guys saw what he was doing in the World Cup. He didn't even start the first game for Argentina, and then he came in the game after that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So for us, we needed creativity. We needed someone who's comfortable picking up the ball from the back four, and a bit of youth. Do you know what I mean? A bit of youth. Definitely needed this revival in midfield. So for me, Enzo does not play that position that Rice played in. The only reason why we played him deep is because the options that we had in midfield was Gallagher, you had Kovacic, you had Kante, who was injured, and then you had Mason Mount. He's the only person that you can trust to pick up the ball from the back four and actually, progress with it and be a little bit press resistant. If you play cover in that deep line role as a CDM, the last man, he's going to lose the ball 1,000,001 times. I was at the bridge against Everton. I was seeing this guy spinning around like a Beyblade, just losing the ball every time he kept picking it up.
Don't act like Enzo didn't get he got roasted by Adeyemi, and
he did. Enzo defensively isn't the greatest, but that's not the role that we brought him in to play. We're not going to pay 100.
You were saying Cover was getting spun like a Beyblade. Enzo got roasted.
No, but I'm talking about when he's picking up the ball from the back four, not out of possession. Out of possession, Enzo isn't the best. Do you know what I mean? He's tenacious because these South Americans, that's just their natural thing. I mean, they want to defend.
I hear it. To be fair, because you're both saying they're both playing out of position, and Cover was worse, but Cover's better than Enzo. So it's like...
No, but what I'm saying is to actually pick up the ball as the deep lying, as the person who's picking up the ball first in that first phase, Enzo was the best to do it. Cover's not that guy to do it, to pick up the ball from the back four and play like a CDM. Basically, he's not that. He's not a. He's very press resistant, but on the ball, Enzo was the most comfortable.
But as an 8, they play the same.
Yeah, they play as an 8. But what I'm saying is the one that we could trust the most to play that Jorginho role, because don't forget Jorginho left in January, right? So we didn't have a CDM. Zakaria was injured, and we didn't trust him. Zakaria is even an 8. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So what I'm saying is the most competent player that we had in our midfield in terms of our options was Enzo. But if you look at Enzo defensively, look at the goals that Arsenal scored against us. That big hole, Odegaard. Constantly finding that hole because Enzo don't play there. That's the main reason why we're bringing in Casado, so he can play further forward. But when you look at Enzo on the ball and the passes, the passing range, the creativity, look at that goal that he assisted against Leicester for Kai Havertz when Havertz chipped the keeper. Do you know what I mean? The passing range. Kaz, you said you was at Old Trafford. I'm sure this guy was the best player on the pitch that game. He was the best player on the pitch that game.
Well, I don't know about that one.
I would say he's the best player.
Breezy, the chat's going a bit mad because I said Kova's better than Enzo right now. I'll be so real. The way the turn, the change in tone with Kova from Chelsea fans is sickening.
Yeah, but what it is,
How?
is that when it comes to they've got different attributes. Like Enzo is technically for me he's an 8, right? But he can also play as a deep line playmaker. Cover ain't got the creativity.
Kovacic is better than Enzo Fernandez.
But bro, they're different. They're different. When you talk about attributes, when you talk about the attributes that we need right now,
they can have different attributes. They're both 8s, and Cover's better.
Yeah, but in what sense? He ain't got better creativity than Enzo. I'll tell you that for free. He ain't got a better shot than Enzo. I'll tell you that for free. He ain't got better passing range than Enzo. I'll tell you that for free, bro.
So again, this is mad. Again, because Enzo is wearing the blue and the badge, and you've seen a snippet of what he could do in a crap Chelsea.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
The bar is on the floor. The bar is literally in the depths of hell. Yeah.
So wait, you're trying to tell me right now that
injured? No, because Kovacic was injured, and you haven't seen much of him over the last year. Like he hasn't been your best midfielder in some of your most successful periods in recent times. One of your best midfielders. All of a sudden, man, are telling me that this Enzo guy's better than him after 6 months in a crap Chelsea midfield.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying, Mons. This is what I'm saying, Mons. You got to look at their attributes. Like I said, midfielders can play in a different. Bro, I've been watching Kovacic. I've been watching Kovacic for basically 5 years, 5 seasons. Yeah, Kovacic is he's a baller. Like I said, he's a baller. When it comes to ball carrying, there's no one touching him. Yeah, at Chelsea, there's no one touching Kovacic when it comes to ball carrying. But one thing about Kovacic, right, in the final third.
What about press resistance as well? What about press resistance?
Press resistance, he's very good, very, very press resistant as well. Like on the ball, he's good. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not shitting on Kovacic. What I'm saying is when it comes to the progressing the play in terms of actually the creativity and the passing range, Enzo's clear of Kovacic, bro. End product, clear of Kovacic. When it comes to the other attributes in terms of like ball carrying, being press resistant, I would say Kovacic, is better than Enzo Fernandez. But when it comes to passing and that, I'm sorry, you're not telling me Kovacic's got better passing range than Enzo Fernandez, or better creativity, or better end product.
But you're putting words in my mouth. I didn't say that he has these over him. He has him. I said as a package and as an 8, Kovacic is better than Enzo. Enzo has certain things that he can do better than Kovacic, yes, but he's not a refined centre mid like Kovacic is when he is fit. It's that.
But once listen to the thing that I said. I said what we needed right now. We needed creativity. And Kovacic has not been creating for us, bro. His end product is poor. He finds a pass here and there. But like I said, for what we needed in our midfield, we have not had no creativity since Cesc Fabregas. All our creativity used to come from Reece James and Ben Chilwell. They were our outlets, right? And remember that season when we had Lukaku, it was literally top of the league in December. And what happened when Reece James and Chilwell got injured? We went downhill again, bro. We went downhill because that's where our creativity was coming from. Jorginho wasn't really creating for anyone anymore. Do you know what I mean? Kovacic wasn't creating for anyone. So that's why we brought in Enzo Fernandez to be a creative outlet. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So in terms of creativity, he's
if we want to go
night and day.
Technicalities in terms of being in terms of creating, Enzo Fernandez, yes, is a bit better with his final third passing, but he's not often going to be the guy to play the final third passing. I'm told he's a deep line midfielder.
Why not?
So he's going to be dictating the tempo of play as opposed to playing the final pass, and he's going to be spread. But didn't you say he's a deep line midfielder, ball carrying midfielder? Deep line ball carrying 8. So he's not. So the deep line ball carrying, Kovacic is clear when it comes to that. And when it comes to the final ball, he's not going to be the furthest midfielder forward.
I said deep line. You misquoted me. I said deep line playmaker is what I said. A deep line playmaker. Because if you it's like this.
They don't play the final.
Would you say? Okay, so would you say that Kovacic his ball carrying is better than Fabregas's? Would you say that?
Yes.
Yeah, but then would you say that Kovacic is a better player than Fabregas?
No, he's not. He's not a better player.
So there we go. Then Fabregas can play in the 8 if he really wanted to. He's got the ability to play in that 8. But like I said, they offer different things. Kovacic offers something completely different to what Enzo offers. Yes. You might look at them as both 8s.
Kovacic is better than Enzo.
But this is what I'm trying to tell you. I've literally been watching Kovacic for 5 years. He's got poor end product.
That's great. It's
poor,
better.
bro.
That's great. It's still better than Enzo.
But you're missing the point. We need creativity.
Wait. There's no point. Let me switch this. Big up Sasko. It says Enzo all day crunch time, both playing against world-class ballers like world-class ball players. Rice always gets exposed. You can run around all you want, but the ball never lies. All right, whether you think one is an 8 and one is a 6, let me try and involve Daps into this conversation because there's something that makes me sick to my stomach. If he's such a 6, I don't look at Rice that he's got the ability, right, to pick the ball out of Ramsdale and turn. right? When it's a high press and stuff, he just don't have it in his locker. That's why I don't look at him as that sort of 6.
He's a good ball
That's
carrier.
not true,
And
man.
He's a very good ball carrier.
Unless someone like Erdegaard comes to come down, right, and collect the ball, I don't see Rice
Are you
doing it.
saying Rice is not press resistant?
Bro, Price, I saw Amrabat clamping my man.
Cass, I'm not even gonna have that. I'm gonna back Egal here on this one.
No,
right?
it's not that. So, anyways, this is not the part. I've been getting told on our Twitter group, by Wax Online, by Arsenal fans all over Twitter, that he can do everything Rodri can do. Do you back that again?
And Egal, think very carefully before you speak, because this is, do you know what? If you can, let him do it. Let him go and do that,
Right.
But this is what I mean by Arsenal fans. Just let him damn cook, Why? And even if you want to do comparisons, think about the comparisons you're about to do. Because last season you were trying to do Partey Rodri comparisons, right? Do you really want to do a Rice and Rodri comparison? And furthermore, why? Because if I'm Arsenal right now, I'm thinking keep Partey, play Declan in the 8, right? So I don't even know why that comparison is being made in the first place. But Egal, can Rice do everything that Rodri can do?
Okay, first of all, you're the ones that are doing this comparison. I haven't done any Rodri comparisons.
No, I haven't done it either, by the way. To confirm, I haven't.
I just wanted to point out one thing. When you say, yeah, we did make a comparison to Casemiro, but not Rodri, because I think we're looking at
very convenient back out there.
You said he was the best CDM in the league. That is making
1 second. Nobody here sat here and said Declan Rice is the best CDM yet. What we've said was
on Partey you did though. On Partey you did though.
Partey fell off a cliff at the end of last season, and we've seen his faults, so we can point at his faults. Now, if you want to do the same 360 that people have done for what do you call it, Kovacic, you could do that, but it's the same issues that have had that Partey has had over the last couple of years. And I still think he's a quality player, but on his day, it's not a thing where he's like consistent.
Partey is more press resistant, way more than Rice.
I think the whole press resistant thing is false. I think you're looking at Declan Rice maybe making a mistake here or there once or twice in a team where he has liabilities next to him, where he cannot pass the ball to them because they don't receive the ball as well. In a more technically gifted team, you're going to see more of Declan Rice's offensive ability more than what you've seen his defensive abilities at West Ham. Now, comparing him to Enzo Fernandez, we should more or less compare him to actual CDMs, not Enzo Fernandez. Because
I said Enzo because I feel like Rice is an 8 for me, and that's where his abilities, what do you call it, flourish more, because I think he's just way better when he's a box.
If you're going to talk about Rice, Enzo.
Once you see him as a 6, he's a 6. Wait 1 sec. Once you said he finishes a 6, a lot of people says it's an 8 or 6. A couple you might say it's a 6. I'm like, cool. Let me do up the comparisons what I've seen on Twitter lately, right? And that's where we do see a lot of the comparison. It is Twitter, not Egal specifically, but I've seen it a lot. And it all come from Antonio on Filthy Feathers when he said, what can Rodri do that Rice can't do, or the other way around? I don't know if I'm saying that right. And I just don't look at Rice as that sort of complete.
I think he's an 8.
I look at him as a clamper though.
I think it's unfair to judge Rice's full ability in a team where.
Wait, hold on, Kaz, did you say he's a clamper? He's a clamper.
Yeah, that's what he is.
Is that all?
Guys, he's playing in a team in West Ham that is limiting his offensive.
That won a European trophy.
Yes, he won a European trophy, but it's limiting his offensive ability, and his teammates around him do not receive the ball.
He doesn't do nothing going forward for England.
Bro, he's one of the best midfielders for England. What are we talking about?
No, he's not.
Nah, he is.
I didn't, again, stop hearing what you want to hear.
Who's a better midfielder for him than England?
I didn't say he wasn't one of the best midfielders for England. I said he doesn't do anything going forward because that's not what he's being asked to do. This whole going forward thing, yes, he's more than a clamper, but I want to go with Greasy's logic. Now let's look at Enzo's. You know,
1 second. I was literally about to get there.
Yeah, let's use Greasy's logic. Let's use that logic.
1 second.
Look at Enzo's attributes. And now let's look at Declan Rice's attributes. Let's do that.
Okay, let's do this then. Defensively, let's be honest. We all can admit here, Enzo is nowhere near Declan Rice. Yeah. Offensively, I would say that Enzo's ahead of him, but I still believe the gap defensively is a lot wider than the gap offensively. I think Declan Rice has not been playing in a team that, one, is a more attacking team, Two, we in a team that in West Ham that plays haram football all the time. You can talk about England and everything else, but let's be honest. Enzo Fernandez and Declan Rice should not really be compared in the first place. Positionally, they're different. Age, they're 2 years apart. You have more of a sample size. And if anyone here is sitting here and saying Enzo Fernandez is better than Declan Rice, you're basing it off his potential, not his.
So would you also agree though? Because look, would you also agree then that the Rodri comparison shouldn't be being made neither?
I just literally said that because I don't think anyone should. I think a lot of these things are people that just got a new signing. They're gassed and they're going to say he's the best midfielder in the world. And guess what? Every single one of you guys, when you sign a player, you're going to gas them up. So let these guys get gassed. Let them be happy. I don't think he's the best midfielder in the league yet, but I do believe he has the capabilities to get there eventually.
Oh, I don't understand this overrating part, right? I just don't see it, man. And people say
I rate Rice, man. I rate Rice. So I can't.
I rate it, but not to that degree. I just think the weak argument. If his name was Ricinho, he'd be rated differently. But I'll say, yeah, but because he's English, he's overhyped. So which one do you want to go with? Like, get it?
I think
you got more attributes. Enzo got more attributes, so he's better.
Listen, yesterday we were talking about it. Where do you guys rank Declan Rice as midfielders in the league?
There's way too many midfielders. God damn.
DMs. Defensive midfielders.
I think he's better as an 8.
No.
Better as an 8.
He's fourth. He is fourth.
So
because guess what? Huh? The three guys that were in the arguments for the top 3 DMs. Because when we were talking about the best DMs in the league, you heard Thomas Partey, you heard Casemiro, and you heard Rodri. You did not hear Declan Rice not once. So now all of a sudden he's wearing a red shirt. Now he's better than.
He's not fourth.
2 out of the 3 of them. He's not even the
better
best.
than Thomas
He's not even the
Partey,
best.
though.
He's not even better than Partey. How about this?
Not even better than Casemiro.
Hold on. A fit Thomas Partey is better than Declan Rice as a DM.
Okay, but fitness is an attribute that every player has.
Is an
if you
attribute,
cannot maintain fitness if season in and season out you cannot maintain fitness, it is going to take away from the level that you bring to the team.
100%.
Declan Rice has played in a team where he's been forced to be the main man for 4 to 5 years. West Ham are rubbish. Let's not take this away. West Ham have been rubbish.
You man did not have this energy for Grealish, by the way, when he first signed.
Because Grealish was different.
Grealish was rated
No. It was the whole
No.
And if we're going off of last season as well, Rice wasn't great majority of last season.
This is what I don't like to do because
it wasn't.
You're right.
Guys, one at a time. Come on, let's do this one at a time.
Look, West Ham had one of their worst seasons. They're literally battling relegation. This is their worst season in about 4 or 5 years. Rice was consistent season in, season out prior to that. And even in their worst season, he managed to lead West Ham to a trophy. Something they haven't done in God knows how long. Rice can continuously put up the levels. Yes, he probably stagnated a bit last season. I ain't going to take it away. He was going level, and then stagnated. But
he looked frustrated at times, bro.
Wait, this is because the team he's surrounded by. We all know that good players, they need to be surrounded by a good team. West Ham have not given him good players to be surrounded by, players that complement the way that he plays. And to hear that Cass say that he's not a good ball carrier when that's one of his best.
I didn't say he wasn't a ball carrier.
You said when he picking up that ball from Ramsdale. If you look at
picking up that ball from deep and turning when you're back
picking up the ball from deep and turning and running for West Ham is one of his best attributes.
No, but driving up the pitch with the
ball through midfield. For me, Rice, he can bring more to the game than Partey. He's going to do more for this team.
Yeah, but George,
he's going to be more consistent. He's going to be more.
When you're talking about
better than the top 3,
when you're talking about who's more press resistant.
Where does he like?
When you're talking about just having that flair in terms of being press resistant, like Lavia has it. Do you know what I mean? Rodri has it. You know what I mean? Even Partey, the way they drop their shoulder. That's what I think. That's what Kaz. I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he's not. But what Kaz was saying is that there's others that are better at doing that in terms of actually being press resistant on the ball. I'm not saying that Declan Rice can't do that job. But I'll be real with you. There's a few others that I can name in that position who are better than him when it comes to being press resistant. But in terms of ball carrying, he can definitely do it. He can definitely do it.
I think.
Let me rephrase it. DMs are better than him. I think.
I don't think we spent 105 million on Declan Rice with the hopes of still playing Partey as a CDM game in, week out. I do believe Partey probably is going to either leave or if he does play, Partey is going to have a lesser role.
So you're putting Rice in the 6. You are putting Rice in the 6.
Why is everyone avoiding the question? Where does he rank as a DM?
For me, I have him second in the league.
What?
I never heard that.
But let me explain.
Hold
Let me
on, hold
explain.
on.
Let me
Before you
explain.
explain, why didn't why didn't I hear that from you during the season?
1 second. Because things change. Things change.
Yeah, the colour of his damn shirt changed. That's what happened.
1 second. Not only the shirt change, the fact that he's able to. 1 second. The fact that you're able to see him captain his side to go win a European trophy. And let's not be honest, with the lesser team in West Ham, I don't think we give the guy enough plaudits. I think we all can sit here and say a lot of the,
including you last season, conveniently.
We can all sit here and say Van Dijk. Nobody here thought Van Dijk was going to be that good and be one of the best center halves in world football.
You're talking sign-on potential, yeah.
The moment he walked into Liverpool, you guys actually seen how much quality he has.
No. Hold on, Egal, stop. Egal.
You stop. Let me finish.
Egal. Okay, finish. Then you could stop now and save yourself some, or you can keep going. So please finish.
Because everyone wants to just cut me off. Kaz cut me off a couple times. You're cutting me off now. Let me finish, okay? Right. My main point is everybody's gonna sit here and always talk about the big six and all the big six, and we all sit here probably watch the big six. But let's be honest, not all of you guys are sitting here watching West Ham week in, week out, and you're not also seeing all his capabilities of what he can do.
You're not watching West Ham week in, week out.
So
Egal,
okay, no. Sorry. I've got to have this one.
I'm done, bro. Keep talking. Go ahead. I'm done.
I've got to have this one. Hold on. Let Egal then let me please to speak. Egal, you said Van Dijk. Then when he got to Liverpool, we saw, yeah? You just said that. 100% agree with you. I've actually said, let's let Declan Rice land and then let's have conversations. You don't want to have conversations. Last season, you were saying it was Rodri, Partey, Casemiro was the conversation, yeah? 3, right? Now, he has signed a shirt and now you're saying, like Van Dijk proved, he proved it. Declan Rice has not played a single damn game for you, but you're using Van Dijk as a comparison. Van Dijk's had seasons. That's why we talk on Van Dijk. Declan Rice has not played a single game for you, but he's now jumped from not being in the top 3 conversation to now being in the top 2 conversation without kicking a single ball for you, yeah?
Okay, now you want me to finish.
Well, you could have before, but you stopped.
No, because you guys keep cutting me off, bro. Let me.
No, I was actually telling. Me and Muntz were actually saying, "Hold on, let him finish," and you stopped. We were saying, "Let you finish."
My point is the only player I would really take over Declan Rice at this moment in time is Rodri. I don't think Casemiro has a better all-around game than him, and right now he might be better than him. And last couple of years and throughout his life, he's been better than him. But going forward, the only player I would have out of all the DMs in the league, I would only have Rodri over him. And yes, there are young players like Casemiro. I mean, like Caicedo and Lavia coming up, but they're not of the level of Declan Rice. So I personally believe at this moment in time, the only person that's going to be challenging for that mantle going forward is Rodri. And I think Declan Rice could potentially get number 1 in the league.
No. You're telling me Caicedo's not going to be in conversations in seasons to come.
No, I think he will, but he doesn't have the experience yet, and he hasn't shown it consistently throughout the years.
Yeah, that's not like Caicedo's mad experience there. But Egal, the only thing that just hurts my head is that, like what Daps said, Declan Rice hasn't had that chance to prove he's in the top 2. From the case study you have right now, from the sample size that we have, from the sample size that we have, you had him ranked 4th in the season. You had him ranked 4th, Partey, make all the jokes about his fitness. He was fit for majority of the season, and for 3/4 of the season, he was in the conversation with Rodri. Some people had him above Rodri. Casemiro went and won United the Carabao Cup, and then he was in the conversation as well. So that was the top 3 was solidified. How about this? I'm even going to go a step further. I think Paulinho was better than Rice this season. I'm going to go a step further. I think Paulinho was better than Rice last season. But obviously, I still believe Rice is the better player, which is why I have him ranked 4th. But in terms of last season, like what George said, he did stagnate. We're talking about Declan Rice, what he can achieve at Arsenal. Right this second, right now, he is not in the top 3 DMs in the Premier League. He's not even the best DM at your club.
Not even top 6.
1 second.
At your club, he's not
even top 6, bro. Let me tell you now. Let me finish. Yeah, I need to do this. The list. Yeah, Rodri is better than Rice at DM. Casemiro is 100 million% better than Rice at DM. Partey, when fit, I'd rather have him. Caicedo in a similar team, if not a worse team overall, when you think about it on paper, when you've got Paquetá, Skamaka, you've got Bowen. Caicedo is a better player, and we're talking about similar experience. Caicedo, I trust more in my DM than Rice. Pellegrini, I've watched him at Sporting. I've seen Pellegrini.
Can I just say, wait, right?
I don't like the Caicedo one.
One set.
Not as a lone six.
No.
Yeah,
Pellegrini in a two-man midfield, right? For Sporting Lisbon, who won them their first league in time, is a better DM than him and has got the experience of playing in Champions League and stuff. And look what he comes to Fulham. We expected Fulham to get relegated.
Let me ask you.
No. Last 6 that's better than him is Bruno Gomes. Has anyone forgot about that guy? He's a better DM than him. So don't do this.
He's not even going to be playing as a DM.
He played 1 season in DM. He's played 1 season in DM. He used to do the 8 role last year. No, the season before last. How about that? Stop overestimating. You man are overestimate this. I don't dislike Arsenal. Yeah, let me just go to the super chat. Cass, you hate Arsenal. Stormzy vibes. I'm a Man United fan. What do you expect? Right? Big up for the super chat. But the thing is, for me, I don't hate Arsenal as a football club. I just can't stand you fans, and this is why in the end, this stuff right here is why I'd rather Man City go do a 4P, and I'd rather hold that one so you fans can just suffer in your own pit of shit and smelly piss. So I don't have to hear you lot no more for another season. That's the truth.
Can I just say, wait, what is the
problem? I'll tell you right now, if he was at Manchester United, he would be sitting here saying, I agree.
Give me a second.
I never wanted
Rice. I'm coming. So what is the
He
problem?
He didn't.
24 years old in his 6th Premier League season. When Trent does when Trent does it and a young player has a bad season where they stagnate, it's all okay because young players are allowed to have bad seasons. But now it's Declan Rice. When it's Declan Rice,
wrong example. Wrong example. Trent was clowned for the whole season, and people say,
wait. Okay, he's clowned, and then what? People are still gonna say Trent's one of the best right backs in the world. They're still gonna say it. They won't take it away from him. But Rice, who's in his 6th Premier League season, 24 years old, continuously got better. Finally stagnates. He finally stagnates in West Ham's worst season.
Really not that badly as well, by the way. Let's be clear. Really not that badly.
Wait. Still won West Ham their first trophy in God knows how long. What, 50, 60 years? He's all of a sudden not better than this, not better than this. People are trying to say João Paulinho is better than him. What is going on?
No, hold on, George. George, be careful. Are you now trying to say that Declan Rice is in the top 2 DMs in?
I never said top 2. I said he's better than Partey. He's a top 5. For me, he's been top 5 CDMs in the Premier League for 5 years.
I think he's going to.
He's better than Partey. He's top 3.
Last few minutes, by the way, lads.
I'm going to be very consistent, and I have been. You can go back to Declan Rice has been consistently performing in the Premier League for the last 5 years. He's played 30 plus games. He's played good in the West Ham team, carried them to 6th and 7th finishes, which no one really expected at the time. So for me, people now discredit him once he's got a big move. It's not on, man. You can't start naming players. Hold on. You can't start naming players. You can't start naming players that's come to the Premier League, had one good season, and saying they're better.
So George, sorry. One thing. George, would you agree? Sorry, George, would you agree then that ultimately what we get from this conversation is that rival fans should not start discrediting Rice because he's joined Arsenal, but also Arsenal fans should not be allowing Declan Rice and their view on Declan Rice to leapfrog multiple players because he's joined Arsenal. That 100%. Ultimately, Declan Rice is still, and the maddest thing is, the other thing we're doing is we're going, right now, he's going to go to Arsenal and play in the 6. That's all just what we think. Because right now, Partey, has not left Arsenal. Arsenal have actually not really done much to suggest that they want to sell Partey. He is still there. Xhaka's gone. Partey is not. Arsenal are trying to build a deeper squad. Getting rid of Xhaka would suggest that potentially Partey is staying, right? You look at Rice straight away. You look at Rice, and then you look at where City wanted him. Now, if we got Rice, I can tell you now, Rice was not coming into Manchester City to play as a centre-back that drops into the middle and plays alongside Rodri. He was not coming to Manchester City to deplace or dethrone Rodri. He was coming into Manchester City to play in an 8 role, if we were interested, which I think we were. The same at Arsenal. Let's look at this. Havertz, Rice, Odegaard. Or Rice, Partey, Odegaard. Which one to everyone on this panel makes far more sense?
The second option, 100%. The second one.
So celebrate that. Comparing him to DMs, this whole conversation for me is like,
you know what? By the way, by the way, let me land quickly. It's not all Arsenal fans are like this. People like Martin are more level-headed, more like there's not all Arsenal fans are like this.
Not
but
everyone,
you don't rattle me, bro.
Just
and
a
you know
gal.
what? It's not even just the gal. It's just it's the overrating part. No one discredited this signing, by the way.
I think it's a great signing, man.
You know what, Kaz? You're right though, because I live in East London, yeah, so I've got a lot of friends that are West Ham fans, and I used to have conversations with them all the time. Like Declan, very good player, but overrated. Do you know what I mean? They overrated him too much, and even now, I think is a top signing, but he's not world class yet. Do you know what I mean? But I do think that he's going to be in the right, he's in the right environment to become world class.
Yeah,
I've always said with Declan Rice, he just needs that move. Do you know what I mean? There's only so much he can do at West Ham.
Overrated also.
Listen, there's no.
Enzo Fernandez is overrated, but you're going to get that in every fan base. Do you know what I'm trying to say? He is overrated, and the same thing with Declan Rice. He's overrated as well. But it's not to say that he's not going to become world class. Same thing as Enzo. I think he's going to become world class at Chelsea as well. So what it is right now is that look, you lot have a top signing. Very, very good signing. I wouldn't put Paulinho ahead of him because I've seen Paulinho do it for a season here. I think Paulinho had a better season, but I haven't seen enough of Paulinho to put him ahead of someone that I've been watching now for six years or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Let Mons land the last point because I do need to wrap up, and we need to go over to the girls' channel.
It's just if people were sat here saying Declan Rice is one of the best CDMs or best midfielders in the Premier League at the start of last season, I'd have nothing to say. I'd be like, you know what? You've kept the same tune. I can't say nothing. You've always thought man was this good. Fair enough. Maybe I don't agree with you, but fair enough. But again, you can't not give him no credit and then he gets all the credit now and then be angry at us and say what we're doing is we're discrediting him. We're not actually discrediting him. We're being the more realistic. We're being the more realistic from what we've seen. Again, if man just changes certain leapfrog or something, I can't agree with that. All I'm going to say is that if you think Declan Rice is anywhere near Rodri, because that's the table that people are putting him at, then he's automatically world class, no? He's automatically world class. And a lot of people with a brain know that Declan Rice is not world class as it stands, unless you just throw that word around willy-nilly. Unfortunately, no one's saying Paulinho is a better DM than Declan Rice. But what I'm saying is there's a plethora, like what Kaz said, there's a plethora of DMs that have had a better season than Declan Rice. But so if Paulinho now steps into Arsenal, if Paulinho moved to Arsenal for like 80 million, would he be second to Rodri? That's just my question.
Yeah, we can land it there.
The narrative. If Paulinho moved to Arsenal, would he be second to Rodri?
No, we can land it there. That's the question for next time, man. But big up Egal. You know what?
He's 27.
I expected Greasy to be getting pressed today, and it ended up being Egal with Arsenal and Declan Rice. It's not even a conversation we wanted to have, and it all went about Arsenal. And that's not down to Egal's. No, you know what? It is your fault, Egal. You know what? You started with Daps, and then you started with he's the second best. But you know what? That's what makes Egal, and you have to respect him. So 100%. If I see comments disrespecting Egal or anyone on a panel after the stream is finished, I'm just gonna remove them because it's just not nice, isn't it? Just talk about the footballing opinion. But yeah, AMT says here the last part, moving forward under Arsenal, Rice will outshine most midfielders. I agree with that part.
Yeah,
I actually do agree with that part. But that's what he said, moving forward under Arsenal, not right now as it's.
Bro, I think I've said it before. I think he could take. I think Rice has captained West Ham, a lesser team. Sorry, West Ham. I love you, but you are. He's captained West Ham to Europa Conference League, right? He's not gone to Arsenal to be a bit part player. He's not gone to Arsenal to not win trophies. He's not gone to Arsenal to not wear the armband, right? Because everyone wants to do more than they've previously done. So I think Declan Rice could be the guy that takes Arsenal to their next big trophy, yeah? And I'm not saying Arsenal are going to go and win the league this season. I'm not saying he's going to get the armband this season. But I think it's an amazing signing. I think Arsenal fans just need to calm down and let him cook. Same as I've said about Mount and Havertz, by the way. I also think everyone needs to calm down and chill out on both of them and see if they cook or not. Like,
yeah, man.
without a ball being kicked.
Before we wrap up here, there's one comment here that says, Don, your logic is flawed. You put Enzo after one season over Kovacic. So what are you saying? I didn't put Enzo over Kovacic. I said Enzo. I said Enzo has certain attributes that Kovacic hasn't got, and vice versa. That's literally what I said.
So who's better?
I said right as it stands, Kova's a better player right now, but I said there's better attributes. There's better attributes that Enzo's got.
I agree with what you're saying, but just know most of the chat were calling me crazy, calling me mad when I said that Kovacic is better than Enzo. Now, chat, can you now give the same to your Chelsea representative? Can you show the same energy, please? Now
These two are clashing. These two are clashing a lot.
Yes.
Now me. No, because I was getting heat. I was getting heat for that. When it's not just me that thinks that. So
Enzo's is better for what we need going forward. That's how I'm gonna end it. Enzo's better for what we need going forward.
All right, we'll end it there. And big up Egal getting his Champions League badge on his sleeve as well, ready for the season. Big up Jules for jumping on. Daps as always, here. On Greasy and big up Mug as well. Why are you laughing?
Someone called him Enzonzi.
Listen, everyone get their laughs in. Everyone get their laughs in. When Casado's behind him,
I dare him to have a stinker. I dare him to have a stinker now.
Enjoy your Sundays. Hit the like. We're on the road to what's our 15K next mark. Big up to anyone that has subscribed. And make sure you stay on this channel. We go over to Egal. Go show Egal some love after this. He was 2-0 up and then he bottled it in good Arsenal fashion.